One Zambia, One Nation, Happy Africa Freedom Day. This is Zanis News with me, Faith Katai, and the sign language interpreter is Neham Mumbi. The headlines. Power station risks shutdown due to low water levels. Nsumbu Hospital contractor given ultimatum. The government connects school health facility to national grid. Plus over 300 inmates get baptized. Zanis News in detail. Minister of Energy Peter Kapala says the interventions government has put in place, such as the importation of diesel-powered generators and the expansion of the Mamba Collieries Company, among others, are to cushion the power shortage the country is experiencing. Mr. Kapala noted that the hours of load shedding have been increased due to the low water levels at the Kariba North Power Facility, and that plans are underway to review the load shedding schedule. And Kariba North Bank Senior Power Station Manager Kefas Museva says that the power facility could face a complete shutdown if it continues to generate power at its current capacity due to the low water levels. More in the following report.
Following the alarming decline in water levels available for power generation at the Kariba Dam in Siavonga, government has reaffirmed its commitment to find lasting sustainable solutions to resolve the load shedding crisis as a result of the El Nino phenomena. Energy Minister and Minister of Water Development Mike Mposha and other stakeholders in the energy sector visited the Kariba North Bank Power Station. During the tour, ZESCO Limited provided an up-to-date power outlook, highlighting the significant challenges as a result of low water levels.
Where we are, if, God forbid, we do not receive any rain, then by as early as January, we are going to shut down. That is one of the disadvantages with hydro. And when we are talking about climate change, here we are experiencing the effect of climate change.
However, government is committed to ensure that the power crisis is addressed.
As a result of this reduction in water levels, that's why we're going on. Now it's over. We hope to review the situation by October this year. We get that we are importing power. As you may know that in the region we've got a shortage of mega shortage. We are also doing other things to see to the additional power by bringing in those mobile ships that will be generating from Mozambique through Zimbabwe to Zambia.
Kapala added that alternative power initiatives are being implemented to ensure energy mix.
4 or 5 companies have expressed interest to start generating waste to energy. So that's one of the measures that we're taking. Wind power, there could be some wind power generation in Masaiti. I think that project is quite advanced. There will be another wind power near Serenge and Katete. Those eventually, if the rains don't come, have to go nuclear.
Whereas Water Development and Sanitation Minister Mike Mposha called for prudence in water usage among consumers.
Let's avoid cutting down trees indiscriminately in the areas where we have water sources, but also just the usage of water. We must use the water in a more efficient way.
The Zambezi River Authority has shared their insights into water utilization, allocation, among others.
I'm going to discuss a bit, we've got a few, maybe less than 5 or 6 slides on the logical performance. That's the most important one. The water allocation, how we allocate the water.
Mkwengusha Pande, reporting in Siavonga District, Southern Province.
In a related development, Zambia Sugar Company has assured government that it will not lay off its workers when ZESCO commences the rationing of power supply to the company next week. Company Managing Director Oswald Magenzi said despite the high cost of reduced power supply, the company has opted to import power in order to maintain its productivity and its workforce of 7,200 employees. Mr. Makwenzi was speaking when Minister of Science and Technology Felix Mutati and other government officials paid a courtesy call on him Details in the following report.
Minister of Science and Technology Felix Mutati was in Mazapka district on a tour of duty. The minister first paid the courtesy call on Mazapka District Commissioner Oliver Mulomba and highlighted the courtesy's plan to host a world skills competition in Livingstone next year.
The communication has improved. Even in remote areas where we never used to operate using mobile phones, at least people are able to communicate, making service delivery very easy.
This is a responsibility for government, industry, and other partners to come together to sharpen the skills so that our boys and girls can compete with the boys and girls from the rest of Africa.
Later, accompanied by the District Commissioner and Mazabuka Mayor Vincent Ilanda, the minister had a meeting with Zambia Sugar Managing Director Oswald Magwenzi.
We pride ourselves as an employer of 7,200 people, and we are a company that provides skilled jobs across the range, from engineers, accountants, environmental specialists, agriculturalists, doctors, nurses. We kind of cover the full spectrum of skills as a company. And in all these areas, we actually are developing skills. Now that we know of this special event, we can then budget to support it, and we will be able to do that. So I think you can come with us fully participating in this event.
During this meeting, Mr. Magwenzi explained the impact of reduced ZESCO power supply on production and its measures to save jobs at the firm.
And also to indicate to you that our president has been given the honor to be the champion for Skills for Africa. That was referred to him by at the AU summit. So obviously the rest of Africa is looking at the president saying, no, you are the champion for skills. Show us how you can deliver. Yes.
With Zambia Sugar Company's willingness and partnering with government in hosting next year's skills competition in Livingstone, it's an opportunity for talented and skilled Zambians to be exposed to the world. Gazala Habwanda, Zanis, in Mazabuka district of Southern Province.
Also in the news, Smart Zambia National Coordinator Percy Chinyama has urged government institutions to understand that their agenda is one. Mr. Chinyama said this during a panel discussion for senior government leaders on the country perspectives on digital identity governance at the ongoing ID for Africa 2024 conference in Cape Town, South Africa. More in the following report by Aaron Kamanga.
Over 500 delegates from across Africa have gathered at the ID for Africa 2024 conference in Cape Town, South Africa, to discuss inclusive and sustainable digital identity ecosystems in Africa. During a panel discussion on country perspectives on digital identity governance, Smart Zambia National Coordinator Mr. Percy Chinyama urged senior government leaders to adopt a one-government approach, stressing the importance of government institutions recognizing that they share a common agenda.
It's important that each government operates with a one government agenda. That is very key. When the government institutions understand that the agenda is one, we call it the one government approach, it helps to reduce the silo. But when we have one government agenda, what that does is that you start looking at functionality first. From my experience, the things that have worked, whatever digital agenda that has worked in our country was because it resolved a problem.
Dr. Amina Zawede, Uganda's permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, noted that her country faces similar challenges to other African nations where siloed operations hinder effective collaboration and progress.
We face the same experiences of operating in silos. If we are not speaking to each other, if we don't have systems talking to each other, we face challenges of citizen fatigue, of providing information. Each entity is requesting for the same information.
Tulimeke Munyika, Namibia's director of the National Population Register, Identification and Production, highlighted that the human factor remains a significant challenge in the effective governance of civil registration and identity management systems.
The human element remains a challenge, and I think that for us is the biggest thing. Although it's very clear who's responsible for what, when they are supposed to do it and how, you still have some stakeholders that are not fully on board.
Aaron Kamanga for Zanis in Cape Town, South Africa.
Meanwhile, Southern Province Permanent Secretary Naman Monze has challenged institutions dealing in money laundering and financing regime to strengthen collaboration and promote financial integrity in public service as required by the government. Dr. Monze was speaking during Public Service Workers Sensitization on the National Anti-Money Laundering, Countering Terrorism and Proliferation Financing Policy in Choma. Let's take a look at this report.
Economic and financial crimes pose a threat to peaceful and democratic socio-economic development. However, National Anti-Terrorism Center in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security sensitized various stakeholders on national money laundering, counter-terrorism, and proliferation financing policy in Southern Province.
Let's read up on these concepts, the money laundering, terrorism financing, proliferation financing, as much as possible engage with these with our institution. The vision is to have a stable social, economic, and political environment that will be free from all financial crimes.
How is your procurement being done? What does the ZPPA Act say? This is part of preventing money laundering and terrorism financing and proliferation financing.
Southern Province Permanent Secretary Dr. Naman Monze wants this policy to be disseminated to both the public and the private sectors.
I therefore urge institutions in the money laundering and terrorism financing regime to strengthen collaboration amongst themselves. Remember, we said when you go back to your departments, you'll be the facilitators.
Jacinta Mukamba is a planner in the Department of Physical Planning.
Look at how people show up for work because the policies have changed and the number of people have been fired for those offenses. It's high time we started acting differently. We must learn to be fair when it comes to the law. We can't afford to be lukewarm, or else our country won't develop.
Gift Banji, Zanis, in Choma, Southern Province.
Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana has appreciated the services offered at the Kafue Regional Training Center and further encouraged trainers at the institution to continue improving provision of human capital development. Mr. Kawana was speaking yesterday after touring the Kafue Gorge Regional Training Center. More in the following report.
Zambia's energy sector is undergoing energy deficit challenges in the face of climate change. It is for this reason that government and its stakeholders are pushing for skills development in the energy sector. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Thabo Kawana, reiterated government's commitment to skills development when he toured the Kafue Gorge Regional Training Center and hydropower station.
Government has demonstrated commitment to skills development by consistently providing funds to TEMET to invest in relevant workforce development in collaboration with industry. Proceeds from the skills development levy are vital enablers in meeting the skills needs of industry for increased productivity. As government, we remain committed to support skills development through various initiatives such as TEMET Skills Development Fund and the bursaries component of the Constituency Development Fund. The work that KGRTC is doing, therefore, plays an important role in helping government meet its developmental objectives as outlined in the 8th National Development Plan. If the country is to achieve its development goals, human capital development should be at the heart of these efforts.
It is evident the energy landscape is undergoing significant transformations, driven by the urgent need for efficient renewable energy sources and advancements in technology. The stakes, ladies and gentlemen, guests of honor, are high, particularly in the face of climate change, which presents an unprecedented, absolutely an unprecedented challenge to our energy systems. What is the importance in the face of these challenges that we build capacity? The importance of capacity building in this context, the role of capacity building cannot be overstated. It is imperative that we equip our workforce with the necessary skills and knowledge to navigate these challenges.
The training center boasts of various laboratory equipment, which over time has positioned it as a center of excellence in the SADC region.
This equipment comes from Association of Power Utilities of Africa, and it's funded by African Development Bank.
Meanwhile, Chief Operations Engineer at the Kafue Hydropower Station sheds light on the extent of the energy problem being faced in the country.
990 megawatts. Right now, how much are we doing? 600. About 600. So we have taken out more than 300 megawatts so that we do not run out of water. For now, the water resource that we have, we are not able to generate at maximum. And then we have also been told that by the experts in the meteorology, they have told us that the next season we were experiencing what is called the El Nino, but what is coming is La Nina, which is the opposite of El Nino. So we hope that that projection is correct. Then it means we'll have a lot of water this coming season.
Shilika Chabalengula for Zanis, Inch Kankata, Southern Province.
In other news, government has given a 6-week ultimatum to the contractor working on the Nsumbu Hospital in Sama district to complete the remaining works. Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu warned when he inspected the construction works of the hospital, which is funded by the Lake Tanganyika Development Project. Patrick Kabwe has the details.
This is Nsumbu Hospital in Sama district, which is under construction. Construction works on the hospital started in 2017 and was earmarked for completion in 2018, but the project stalled after the contractor abandoned the works. Another contractor was engaged, but works are still taking long to complete. Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu, who inspected the project, has since given the contractor a 6-week ultimatum to finish the remaining works.
We need to move expeditiously. And as government, we are not ready to extend this project. This is the last, in the month of July, I think the people of Nsama or Nsumbu must know that the hospital is up and running. The people of Nsumbu are ready to come and get quality services from this hospital.
Joshua Mumba is Shachitari Construction Company site engineer.
As a company, we will try to do our very best to meet the expected target time so that we can deliver this hospital to the community and the people at large. Major works have been done, we're just remaining with some finishes, which we expect, as we had discussed, we can complete first week of July.
Meanwhile, Provincial Infrastructure Officer Jalawa Mnyima expressed happiness at the quality workmanship being exhibited by the local contractor.
Project is earmarked for completion in July this year, 2024. The scope includes completion of OPD, mortuary, service block, 2 wards which are female and male, and children's wards. The quality of work is satisfactory, and then we're happy with the performance of the Zambian contractor.
For Zanis News, I am Patrick Kabwe in Nsumbu area of Nsama district.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, has apprehended 4 suspects, including 2 Zimbabweans, for trafficking in 3,900 kilograms of dry loose cannabis. The Commission has also apprehended and charged 2 males who were found with over 76 million Malawian kwacha and over 35,000 Zambian kwacha concealed under the seats and boot of the motor vehicle they were using. Abigail Kashweka has the details.
Displayed at the Drug Enforcement Commission DEC offices in Chipata district are products of 2 separate operations carried out by officers in Chipata. In the first operation, 4 people have been apprehended, 2 of whom are Zimbabwean nationals, for trafficking in dry loose cannabis to the weight of 3,900 kilograms. This has been confirmed by DEC Public Relations Officer Alan Tamba.
The DEC conducted a major drug trafficking operation in Chipata district, thereby arresting 4 suspects, including 2 Zimbabwean nationals, who were involved in trafficking 3.9 tons of dry loose cannabis. The suspects, being Christine Moya and Anna Mudimu, along with local accomplices, were transporting the subject drugs from Malawi into Zambia via undesignated routes.
In another operation, 2 males of Chipata district have been apprehended and jointly charged for possession of property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime.
In a separate case in Chipata district, the DEC also arrested Joel Piwi and Stephen Chiwa for possessing property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime. They were caught with 76,066,000 Malawian kwacha and 35,735 Zambian kwacha hidden in their vehicle while trying to cross from Malawi into Zambia. The cash and their vehicle, a silver Toyota Allion, were seized.
All the suspects in these 2 cases have been charged and will appear in court soon. Abigail Kashweka reporting for Zanis in Chipata district.
We take a break, more stories when we return.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours on Zanis TV, Topstar platform, channel 6 DTT and 458 DTH. Don't miss.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, channel 6 DTT and channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Welcome back. You're watching Zanis News. Still in Eastern Province, the Chipata City Council has connected Chipungo Clinic and Nyane Primary School in Lwangeni constituency to the national grid at a cost of 1.2 million kwacha using the Constituency Development Fund. Provincial Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape says the connection of the school and clinic to the national grid will improve service delivery. Sylvester Chishimba now reports.
Chipungo Clinic and Nyane Primary School in Lwangeni constituency had been operating without being connected to the national hydropower grid. And now, government has come on board to connect the 2 institutions with power using the Constituency Development Fund and reduce on the many challenges members of staff faced in their operations. Eastern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Dr. Lewis Mwape toured the clinic and school to appreciate the work done.
A good project where we want to bring power and take power to all public institutions. This project cost about 1.2 million, and the essence for this is that we want to bring power to a school like this one. It is for this reason that the schools need also to be empowered. So from here you see that there will be some businesses around the stretch of these 15 kilometers. That's really empowerment. But more important is that ICT is compulsory, and the schools need to administer ICT examinations. So His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema has directed that all public institutions need to be connected to the power. And so it can either be solar or it can be the main grid like the ZESCO grid through the partnership with the Rural Electrification Authority. So as government, we are proud that this is what we are able to deliver in the province.
And the residents are happy.
Kumbuyo kuteleza pressure mapu malaiti telezeveretu kulepa zimayo zilizopapishira torch orofoni so apa tangalokondo kutilomba kuti tilivu tilionse ya electricity komanso tikondwera pada kuti pano lomba na inani kakonseketuka pano takalayamikira ngako mungapa icho atiyamika zikomo
tithokoza mamalaiti amene yatifikira pano kulepa tezevutika ngati uli efoni nchiupapira mu mdima mbapa tithokoza.
Sylvester Shemba for Zanis in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
In health news, Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo says government will provide necessary maternal health care to delivering mothers in order to end obstetric fistula. Mr. Matambo was speaking in Quito during this year's International Ending Fistula Day commemoration, and Zambia Fistula Foundation Director Walia Chomba stated that the obstetric fistula prevalence was high, with Eastern Province leading, followed by Luapula. Here is a report.
Obstetric fistula is a health condition caused by distortion of the birth and anal canals in women due to injury during childbirth, resulting in uncontrollable leaking of urine and fecal matter through one passage. It is a little-known condition whose victims suffer silently with it due to the shame associated with the condition. In rural areas, this shameful condition is associated with witchcraft. The world has commemorated the 2024 International Day to End Obstetric Fistula. In Quito, Copperbelt Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo graced the commemorations.
The fistula continues to affect an estimated 2 million women worldwide, with an estimated 50 women out of 100 cases developing each year. Women who experience obstetric fistula suffer constant inconsistency, shame, social segregation, and health problems. The World Health Organization estimates that more than 2 million young women live with untreated obstetric fistula in Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa.
Zambia Fistula Foundation Director Wadia Chomba highlights the seriousness of obstetric fistula in Zambia.
The exact fistula burden in the country is not known. The primary data documents the number of fistula repair surgeries that have been done throughout the country. The UNFPA Fistula Tracking Study of 2014 established that Eastern Province had more fistula survivors, 26%, followed by Luapula Province, 22%, and Northern Province, 14%. This may not show the actual picture of fistula burden on the ground, but rather suggests that community mobilization was strongest in these regions and therefore helped improve identification and referral for treatment.
Copperbelt Province Health Director Dr. Charles Mwinuna stressed on the need to invest in fistula management and prevention.
It is very, very clear that as leaders in the province, we need to invest in fistula management, prevention, and management. We need to do that. And all partners in the province, our goal should be to invest in saving lives of our women holistically, including planning, budgeting for fistula management, especially fistula prevention. If we establish an obstetric fistula repair hospital.
The survivors are thankful for the free treatment. The need to improve measures for eradicating fistula cannot be overemphasized, as women need to retain their dignity after childbirth and maintain a healthy and normal life. Liz Ngobeka reporting for Zanis in Quito.
Still in health news, Mambwe District Commissioner William Banda says there is a need to work together and create a menstrual period-friendly world. Mr. Banda said all well-meaning persons should envision a world where menstruation is met with dignity, respect, and support, and not a world where menstruation remains shrouded in stigma, taboo, and silence. Thelma Kunda has more in the following report.
Menstruation is a difficult biological process, especially for young girls in most rural communities who cannot afford menstrual hygiene products. This calls for stakeholders to come on board to see how best they can lessen the burden on these young girls who are also mostly school-going. This is the case for Mambwe district, where Project Luangwa has been helping girls in various schools to have access to menstrual hygiene products.
Project Luangwa carries out a number of different projects, but our two core aims are supporting education and gender equality. Menstrual hygiene management is a huge part of gender equality. I personally don't feel that any girl should be disadvantaged purely because of her body. For that reason, we carry out a big menstrual hygiene program. Last year alone, we supported over 1,000 girls by providing 5,000 menstrual hygiene pads across around 30 different schools in this district. We continue to do that every year, and we'll keep pushing and trying to get more and more to give girls proper access to menstrual hygiene products and allow them to keep in school and keep learning.
During this year's commemoration of International Menstrual Hygiene Day, Mambwe District Commissioner William Banda called for interventions aimed at creating a period-friendly world.
Menstrual hygiene management is not just a personal issue, but a public health concern, an economic empowerment matter, and a gender equality issue where we must work together to create a world where every person has access to affordable, safe and sustainable menstrual products.
And some pupils called on the government and stakeholders to provide conducive menstrual hygiene facilities in schools.
We will be very glad if your primary school can be a girl-friendly school where girls can access education freely without any difficulties. We can be grateful if a washroom can be built for Uyowa Primary School to actualize a period-friendly world.
The traditional leadership was also in attendance.
Maschools moitanga maikapoka subject kazi maiweka so that you muwapunzisa musebenzesa ma sanitary towel. Don't wait for them kuti kubedi keji mbani peti miyango sakya tenje no ufunika in fact kuwapasa na ma calendar kila mtu aina kalenda yake so that they should be reading my calendar as the days goes on. She should know what all the question tolerate to other than to become more embarrassed.
Thelma Kunda for Zanis in Mambwe District, Eastern Province.
In education news, Acting Mufumbwe District Education Board Secretary David Saitumbo has disclosed that 14 girls from Mufumbwe District in Northwestern Province have benefited from the tertiary education sponsorship package under the Keeping Girls in School program, KGS. Mr. Saitumbo appealed to parents with girls to take advantage of the KGS sponsorship package, which guarantees a bright future. Patson has more in the following report.
This is Victoria Mwepo, one of the Keeping Girls in School KGS beneficiaries, pursuing a bachelor's degree in food science and nutrition at the Charimana University and doing attachments at the Mfumbo District Hospital. Victoria is among the 14 beneficiary students in the district who have so far benefited from the tertiary KGS sponsorship package since government introduced it in 2022.
This scholarship was awarded to me in 2019 when I was just in grade 10. And my sponsors said to say everyone who's going to do well at grade 12 level and the results convinced them, they would still take us to a tertiary level, for which me and my other friends who were awarded these scholarships in 2019, some of us did very well, and we are now in school pursuing the programs that we really wanted for ourselves.
Miriam Sagapaji is another girl child under the KGS tertiary sponsorship package who is pursuing a diploma in midwifery at Chavuma College of Nursing and Midwifery.
In 2022, I was accepted also at Chavuma College of Nursing and Midwifery. I came to be trained as a midwife, and then KGS is still supporting me up to now. They pay for our accommodation, they pay for our meal allowance and for our school fees.
Based on the fact that sponsorship towards tertiary education is guaranteed for girls under KGS as long as they get good grades at the grade 12 level, Acting District Education Board Secretary David Saitumbo calls for continued support from parents towards girls on the program.
It is quite encouraging to learn that our girls are going almost in all the institutions of learning. We have a number of them in some nursing schools such as Mokinge, Chahoma, Karen. We also have some in technical institutions like KPTC and others in the higher institution of learning such as Wibushi University and Chalingana, pursuing quite competitive programs to all our parents that have got children that are under KGS. Let them not relent, let them not keep the girls away from going to school because the future is bright for them. Their education will not only end at grade 12, the government is ready to sponsor them up to whichever institution of learning that they want.
Chief Chizera, through his spokesperson Lapson Samola, has on the other hand pledged to continue support for the KGS program through the formation of bylaws.
We are coming with bylaws that it will be an offense in my chiefdom to have parents that keep children without taking them to school.
Person Marshal for Zanis in Mfumbo District, Northwestern Province.
The news continues. Chadiza District Commissioner Malan Zimba has urged the District Disaster Management Committee to be proactive in disaster response. Mr. Zimba says the idea of waiting for disaster to strike was costly on the part of government, adding that disasters could be prevented if technocrats were proactive enough in instituting prevention measures. Jubel Zulu has more in the following report.
Chadiza District is among the districts that for decades has been highly vulnerable to food crisis and household food insecurity, which has largely been driven by climate change and variabilities. This calls for disaster management to ensure that despite the impacts of climate change and extreme weather events, people can still have standard living cultures.
I want to applaud for the three things that you are doing: life-saving food, resilience amongst the residents to adapt, ensure the adaptation of the climate change, and also the children that you are taking care in your project. But before we talk about disaster response, we need to talk about preparedness. Because if we are not prepared as a people, we are not prepared as a district, even our response will not be effective. I always tell people, do not be reactive, be responsive.
Plan International is implementing Sustainable Food Security and Nutrition Projects, SFN, and a meeting in collaboration with DMMU has been held.
Okay, so various players in disaster management range from government ministries, that one has already been explained, and departments, donors, private sector, NGOs, like Plan International, community-based organization.
World Development Committee, we have civic leaders who have come from the four wards where the project is being implemented in Chadiza, and these are Chanjowe, Mangwe Ward, Kavumo, as well as in Sazwad. So they are all here. So there have been a lot of conversations regarding the roles that different actors from community to district level are playing. Different departments, different line ministries, and their contribution to responding to disasters.
Stakeholders want more concerted efforts.
I think let's unite. There was a point in which DC brought out to do with working as a team. And in the presentation we had it as well, because if you don't work as a team, really you will not achieve anything. Because each time maybe the coordinator calls or you as a chair calls to come, because it's an emergency or it's something that we need to do. We find people have all sorts of excuses. Then we are not disaster prepared.
Jubel Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza District, Eastern Province.
And in a related development, Chadiza District adolescent focal point person Mavuto Nkua has revealed that at least one adolescent aged between 15 to 19 tests HIV positive every month in the district. Mr. Nkua highlighted the statistics during the presentation at a co-joint meeting between Ministry of Health and Plan International. Details in this report.
They say the future lies in the hands of the younger generation, but at the rate at which some young people are destroying their lives, many fear for their future due to the severity of the situation, where teens between the ages of 15 to 19 are having casual sexual relations. Others are testing positive to HIV on monthly basis.
As a district, we are also doing programs in relation to HIV prevention, and one of them is HIV testing that we have done, and on HIV testing we have tested a good number of young people, and from the numbers that we have tested, at least each month we are able to actually record a positive case from the young people. This shows that from the behaviors of young people, you can see that actually these young people, they are exposed to HIV infection.
To protect the adolescents, stakeholders have come together to find solutions to related problems.
Outcome number 1 and number 3, young and body creating awareness. As well as changing social norms and behaviors, as well as creating opportunity for girls and adolescents to claim their rights on quality and safe education.
As a project, we are very much rooted into the youth. So we believe in youth leadership. Okay, so we are youth-led. But the major things that we want to see or accomplish is we want to see young people access sexual reproductive health rights and services.
The chiefs are aware and something is being done.
Mbuzi, tena ngatafaka mbuzi, ama lipira kwa nditu kandalama kutiwa kufunzile kuti ulesa mwana ku skulu, kapeno peleka mwana ku chikwati, ukhala ni mlandu. Tinaona kuti chokera kumwe tinayamba muno mwathu mwa zingalume. Taona kuti namba yabwerako pansi kusiyana na kumwe kumene sinalile.
Jubel Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza District, Eastern Province.
Ministry of Health has launched customer care services in an effort to improve customer relations between patients and health workers in public health facilities. Details in this report.
In terms of the strategic direction, we are saying that the Ministry of Health recognizes the significance of customer care in hospitals to reorient ourselves and see whether we are compassionate enough, whether we have empathy. So healthcare providers should demonstrate empathy.
The introduction of customer care services in our hospitals is a testament to our commitment to improving the overall patient experience. The new Dom government, under the able leadership of His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the President of the Republic of Zambia, believes that every patient deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and that their voices should be heard. This initiative aims to create an environment where patients feel valued, where their concerns are acknowledged, and where their needs are met to the best of our abilities.
Also in the news, Women for Change has embarked on an empowerment project that is giving interest-free loans to women in an effort to equip them in their various businesses. Women for Change Field Office Coordinator Mercy Siamanana said over 100 women have benefited from the program in Rufunsa and Chongwe districts. We have more in the following report.
These are women from Rufunsa district dancing and telling their stories on Women Empowerment Project aimed at empowering rural women. Alice Njekwa, a piggery farmer, narrates how her life has changed after accessing a loan from the non-governmental organization.
Drama natenga 2,200. But 2,200 you nagula monkumba zibiji. izo nkumba zinabala so nina bana bokwanira 16 nikamba kugulisa umoyo wanga uzachinja nifuna kuyamikira kwambiri kuri ba Sweden government wamene wanatipasa ndrama na ba Guatemala because wanatipunzisa na mosungira vitekwa vamene hivi.
Another beneficiary thanked the institution with their cooperating partners for improving their lives.
Panyumba panga ndenze kuvutika kupeleka bana ku skulu kuwalipirira ulo kugula nsapato kugula mabuku but manje nikwanisa nayo danguku nasunga nguku za kula nagulisapo nagulako na tumbuzi na ikapo panyumba kuonesa kuti ai our women for change wagwira ntchito.
In the months that we've worked with these women, we've seen so much change. The women are able to run their businesses effectively. The women have diversified their businesses. The women are able to take care of themselves.
Despite challenges brought about by the drought, women in the district are still able to make ends meet, according to Women for Change Field Coordinator Mercy Siamanana.
It did not rain enough that they could harvest anything from their fields. Because of the loans that we gave them, women are happy and are able to testify to say the loans have helped to cushion the impact of the drought, in that they are able to get something out of their businesses.
Zanis reports.
Lastly, in the news, over 300 inmates from both Mukobeko Medium and Maximum Correctional Facility in Kabwe have been baptized by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Personal Ministries Director for Midlands East Zambia Conference, Pastor Timothy Nyerenda, said that the baptism of the 300 inmates was a historical accomplishment for the SDA Church and the correctional facility system. From Kabwe, Daniel Billy now reports.
These are the Dorcas workers from the Kabwe Central Mission District who have gathered for a 2-week crusade dubbed the Impact Zambia Crusade at Kasanda Malombe grounds in Kabwe District. Personal Ministries Director for Midlands East Zambia Conference, Pastor Timothy Nyerenda, expressed happiness that the Dorcas mothers have been able to successfully host a crusade in the region, which has also seen the baptism of over 300 inmates.
We are preaching in maximum correctional facilities and medium and also female. Just yesterday we baptized over 300 inmates, and we also made a huge contribution of some food stuff, let me say assorted items worth over 60,000.
Kabwe Central Mission District Pastor Michael Mkenda says the crusade will have a great impact on the community that surround Kasanda Malombe.
Positive impact that we are looking forward to see here at Choa is that looking at Choa itself and the site where the crusade is stationed, it is near High Ridge, it is near Katondo, and also near Choa Railways. And most of these mentioned areas are termed to be compounds. And as a compound, there are so many crimes that are going on. And the drunkenness that is happening. Many people they don't want to go for church services. They find themselves in illicit activities, which is impacting their lives negative.
And Kabwe Central Mission District Federation leader, Hilda Sinkamba, says the Dorcas community is not only for helping people, but evangelism as well.
Dorcas is not only about community service, helping the need, it's also about evangelism. This crusade is an open-air evangelism which has won many souls. For the first time here in Kabwe, we are very proud as Dorcas belonging to Kabwe Central Mission District to hold a crusade where we shall have people baptized through spearheaded Dorcas crusade.
Daniel Billy for Zanis News in Kabwe District, Central Province.
That item concludes Zanis News, but before we go, a reminder of the top stories. Power station risks shutdown due to low water levels. Nsumbu Hospital contractor given ultimatum. The government connects school health facility to national grid. Plus over 300 inmates get baptized. That is all we packaged for you on Zanis News. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, my name is Faith Katai. The sign language interpreter has been Neham Mumbi. Thank you for watching.